Yeah, let's do some shooting. And there she is. Feels very well made. 5 shots in 2 seconds at 3, 5, 7, and 10 yard. Somebody is gonna win a Traeger right now. Oh, God, this gun, I wanna just throw it. One in the chamber. How about that? Hey everybody, welcome back to the Concealed Carry channel. I'm Grant McLean. Today we are doing part 1 for the Canik TP9 Elite SC. So we're going to do an unboxing. Those of you who are looking to purchase this gun, you know, it's always nice to know what's going to come in the box. So we're going to do a formal unboxing, kind of unpack that. And then I'm going to give you some of my first impressions that I got just from, you know, holding the gun, checking it out. Part 2, we're going to jump into the range review and dive a little bit more into the features and benefits of the gun, up close stuff. First, I want to say thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. If you're not a Patreon supporter, please go down to the description below. Check out the link to our Patreon page. Of course, if you need to get anything, have anything shipped over to your local FFL or whatever, visit nwarmory.com. Folks over at Northwest Armory have been awesome to us, so let's be great to them. And X-Hunt targets, if you want to get some of the sweet reactive targets that we feature here on part 2 of the review, I definitely recommend them. I like them a lot, especially here in the Northwest, because they're really weather resistant. So they hold up really, really well if you're shooting outdoors. Check them out, X-Hunt targets. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the unboxing portion of the firearm. First thing before I open the case, I do want to say that it does come in a, you know, nice lockable, I should say, plastic hard case. This is going to save you a little bit of money. Obviously, cardboard boxes and stuff like that some guns come in, they're not quite appropriate for transporting to and from the range and stuff, but a nice little case like this can save you a few bucks. Let's go ahead and open this up, and there she is. So first thing we're going to start with is what's behind this foam pad here, and this is where you're going to find, you know, your warranty paperwork, a little extra propaganda there for customizing your Canik. I gotta say, the printing on this is really nice. It's not just like some cheapo little black and white piece of paper that's been, you know, just, I don't know. You can almost tell when companies are like, hey, let's make this as cheap as possible. This actually looks really nice. Gotta hand it to them on that. Good job. The other things you're going to find behind that foam are going to be a little rod and a brush for cleaning. Doesn't have any like cleaning supplies in the case, but you know what, most people will have that either already or they're going to get like a formal cleaning kit, you know, that comes with all the solvents and lubes and such. All right, going down into the main compartment here. Nice thing is it does come with a holster. Let's go ahead and pop this baby open. Now the holster, this is a right-handed holster. Kind of interesting here, and the way that this is set up is it has kind of like inside the waistband clips, but it's a outside the waistband configuration. Not all hope is lost though. You can take a Phillips head screwdriver, unscrew these, move them over to the other side. So now these clips will be on the other side. It's not really ideal for a left-handed person, but you know what, hey, it's there. if you're left-handed, you could probably sell that, you know, on a local forum or something. Magazines, you have 2 magazines that are going to come with it. You have a 15 rounder, and that's going to have a pinky extension, and it's going to just kind of fill out the whole bottom of the mag. And then you have a 12 rounder, and this is going to have a pinky extension. You see it's kind of flush there. There is also a flush fit base pad. So if you want to kind of take that pinky extension off, you want it to be flush, then you can use that flush fit base pad there. So that's kind of nice, comes with that already. And you'll have a extra back strap. So if you want to have a little bit smaller of a back strap, if your hands are just a little bit smaller, then you can swap that out. There's a little punch there, or a little pin that you'll just punch through to swap those out. Very similar to what you'll see on a lot of other guns. Also, you do have a trigger lock, and this is what I thought was kind of cool. Look at that. in the bottom, you have this little tool kit, little tool box actually, and it has your Allen keys. It does have a couple little screws in there, extra little lock washers. I really like that because in a lot of guns, you'll find like the Allen key just floating around in the case. And the problem that I have with that is, you know, as these are sitting there and shipping and they're vibrating around, it'd be really disappointing to, you know, if there's a gun that you're waiting on for like 4 or 5 months, finally, you know, it's available on the website or whatever it is off your wish list, and then you ship it to your FFL and you get it, and that little Allen key's been sitting there vibrating against the slide the whole time, and now you have a blemish. Well, what do? You know, you're kind of screwed. So I really like that Canik took that time to go ahead and put them in a actual like secured spot and give you a few little extra screws and stuff just in case you need them. Hey, thumbs up. That's freaking awesome. Let's go ahead and set this stuff aside here and talk about the pistol itself. Now, kind of break down some of the specs real quick here. This is a subcompact size pistol. It's a polymer frame, metal slide, like most, 9mm double stack. Got a 12 round capacity in that mag, a 15 round capacity in this mag, plus 1 in the chamber if you so choose. It's a 3.6 inch barrel, so that's pretty standard for subcompacts. The length is 6.7 inches, the height is 4.6 inches, and the width is 1.45 inches. Now the weight on this is 1 pound 9 ounces. MSRP is listed at $439.99. I have seen this sell for less than that. I've seen it sell for about $80 less in some cases. But the demand on these is pretty high because if you take a look at everything I just went through with you, there's a lot of stuff that comes with a gun. So if you look on paper and, you know, you're kind of a new gun buyer, you haven't really shot a whole lot of guns, you don't necessarily know what you're looking for, so you're just kind of going off of what comes with the gun. This has a lot of things that come with the gun and will seem like a very, very good value because most guns don't come with a holster, and then you go look at a holster and you're like, wow, holsters are like $85, $90, $100 depending on the manufacturer you go with, and then if you get leather it goes up even more. And you're like, oh, well, this one comes with a holster, you know? And so when you're looking at this gun, and you might find it for like, you know, $350 or something, or $360, you're going, holy cow, you know, how could I pass up on that? And of course, that's one of the reasons why it came onto the channel, is because these are hard to find, and the second I could get my hands on one, I had to. It does come with a lot of stuff, and I don't want to, you know, piss anybody off or, like, say, be disrespectful or anything, but I feel like it's very much like Hyundai, where if you look on paper, the feature benefits of what a Hyundai comes with versus a Mercedes-Benz, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, it comes with like this big, huge V8, comes with turbocharger, comes with this and this and this and all this stuff, and you have name brand sound systems, and you have full grain leather interior and so on and so forth. And you're like, yeah, and it's 30% less than the cost of what they call a comparable vehicle. Well, I feel like that is so similar to kind of the marketing and idea behind this. And I'm not going to say that it's, you know, Hyundai's a bad vehicle, or I'm not going to say that a Canik's a bad gun. I know plenty of people that have them that are like, I really like this gun. Hey, you know what? At least you found something that you like. Now, I do find that quite a few Canik owners will buy this as their first gun, however, it is not their last gun, and they feel that they are going to upgrade to something else. They're like, oh yeah, like if I ask them, hey, you know, what do you have? And they're like, oh, I have a Canik. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, how do you like it? And they're like, no, I like it a lot, but I do want to get something else. And I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe there's something that's just not, it's not checking a box that they want after they've had a little bit of time behind the trigger. So we'll talk about my experience, of course, with the pistol and shooting it in part 2. So, you know, make sure that, of course, you know, if you haven't hit the like and subscribe, make sure you do that, but hit that bell notification, because that is going to let you know when we do come out with the next videos. What I noticed first thing when I opened up, you know, the box and you know, pull the gun out, is there's quite a few features and benefits from other guns that are on this. And what I feel like is that this gun is like almost like a knockoff of 4 different guns. So if you take a look at, you know, this monstrous slide release lever, it's very reminiscent of a Walther. Same as like the takedown, you know, levers there. It's kind of reminiscent of a Walther. Then you also have, you know, these front serrations. You got these big giant rear serrations as well. And also kind of the lines of the slide too are a little bit more reminiscent of other pistols. On the back here, you'll see you have that little, it's kind of like a cocked hammer indicator. So when the hammer is back and ready to fire, that little dot is going to stick out, that little red dot there. And then when the hammer is forward, okay, see, that disappears. So these are other, you know, kind of features that other pistols have. This loaded chamber indicator up top, again, another kind of feature. You'll see those on like Springfields. And then you have your back strap here. And this back strap is very reminiscent, at least to me, of like the FN there. The mag release, this is reminiscent of like a Hive aftermarket Glock magazine release. The trigger, this is kind of reminiscent of a Walther, but then it has like the red inside, like a Zev. You can kind of see where we're going with this. It's taking featured benefits from like and similar competitive pistols to this and just kind of putting them into one package. Oh, and then you also have that optic cut too. And then, of course, the sights. You have the flat face on the rear sight. So if you're doing like a one-handed manipulation or reload of the gun, you can use that to, you know, cock the slide off of some sort of surface or edge. So you see what I mean? You're kind of getting a lot of stuff kind of put into this gun. But at the end of the day, you know, are we putting lipstick on a pig? You know, and that's where it's got to come down to part 2 of, does this all actually work well together? Is there synergy between all these parts? And, you know, you have all this stuff, and some people are like, you know, I want something made here in the US. You know, these aren't made in the US, they're made in Turkey. And I think that's partially one of the reasons why you're getting a lot of features and benefits, but a huge decrease in price. And how does that hold up? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're talking about a tool that's designed to function perfectly in the circumstance that you need to protect your life or your family's life, right? So we'll dive into that and see what happens. So stick around for part 2. What I want you all to do is, of course, make sure to check out that Patreon page. Check out nwarmory.com if you need to get anything. Have it shipped to your local FFL. You're good to go there. And xhunttargets.com to order up some of the awesome reactive targets. I will see you here next time for part 2, which I'm very excited to share with you. And we'll go from there. All right. Thanks. Where am I going to stand? Right in the middle of the glory. Here in the glory. America. It'd suck to live in, like, somewhere where you can't have guns. I'd have to just carry a chainsaw with me everywhere I went. I'd have a concealed chainsaw that's like this big. Then I'd have like a home defense chainsaw. Yeah. All right, ready?
Yes.
That thing is not on center. There's